I'm worried about the latest update about Blue Bloods series finale, which suggests that a main character could be killed off as the credits roll. For 14 years, the fictional Reagan family has felt like my extended family. Blue Bloods includes a family dinner scene in every episode in which the multi-generational family of cops discusses the cases of the week, teases one another, and acts like many real families, which is one of the reasons for its popularity as it nears the end of its run. Its emphasis on family values is one of the reasons that Blue Bloods cancellation is so disappointing. It is one of the last remaining series to center family issues, leaving a large gap. The Blue Bloods series finale will end with a final family dinner. However, I'm concerned because that dinner scene is supposed to include a surprise that actress Bridget Moynihan says isn't so hopeful. Via Entertainment Weekly. This ominous-sounding spoiler could point to a death in the family, which would be a depressing way to end the series. Blue Bloods Season 14 will have a surprise that isn't hopeful. The series may end on a bittersweet note. The final family dinner is supposed to have several surprises, some of which will be positive. Positive surprises could include things like Eddie announcing she is pregnant, which is my perfect ending for Blue Bloods, as it would reinforce the idea that the next chapter of the Reagan family is beginning even though the audience can't join them for the birth of the new baby. However, the less positive surprise Moynihan mentions sticks in my mind, as that could ruin the show's final moments if not handled correctly. There would be little point to beginning a new storyline that couldn't be finished during Season 14 since Blue Bloods has only a few episodes left before it leaves network television permanently. However, 8 episodes are still plenty of time to develop a final story, including one revolving around the death of a main character, and leaked photos have already suggested there will be a funeral near the end of the series. Thus, I'm worried that Blue Bloods could do something similar to what young Sheldon did when it killed off Sheldon's father in the penultimate episode of the series. Could Blue Bloods Season 14 kill off a major character? If so, Henry would be the most likely. Henry Reagan laughing at the family dinner table in Blue Bloods. Whether or not Blue Bloods kills off a main character depends on how early in the season they set up this storyline. It's unlikely that a death would be mentioned for the first time in the final scene, as there would be no way to follow up on the storyline. Additionally, the series will likely end on a bittersweet note, celebrating the family while grieving that it's the last on-screen dinner. If Blue Bloods does decide to kill off a family member, Henry is the most likely. He is the oldest member and the only one left from his generation, and his age and potential health concerns have been explored in several previous episodes, including when Frank wanted Henry's doctor to keep Henry's prostate cancer diagnosis secret so that Henry wouldn't be upset. Thus, Henry could have a fatal illness near the end of the series. I'd be heartbroken if this turns out to be the case. Henry is one of my favorite characters, and Blue Bloods Season 14 has mostly wasted him to begin with. However, there is some logic to Henry revealing that he's ill near the series' end, especially if Eddie is pregnant. That would make her pregnancy more poignant, especially if she and Jamie decide to name the baby after Henry. What else could Blue Bloods Season 14's surprise be? There are a variety of other not-so-hopeful possibilities. Blue Bloods The Reagans pay their respects at Joe's gravesite. If Blue Bloods wants to end on a positive note, the series could reference a surprise that is upsetting to the family but doesn't interfere with the feel-good nature of the last few moments of the series finale. For example, Sean could decide he's going to move to San Francisco and stay with Nikki for a while, which would sadden the family because there would be 2 Reagans on the opposite coast. Similarly, Jamie and Eddie could share that Eddie can't have children and have decided to remain child-free rather than considering adoption. Alternatively, the series could end with Frank announcing his retirement or, if he has already retired, the family could learn that the person he hoped would succeed him did not get the job and the new commissioner has very different politics than Frank and may not be as good for the NYPD. This type of surprise wouldn't be hopeful, but it would allow Blue Bloods to end with the family proud of what they have stood for throughout Frank's tenure.